Good morning, everyone. So today is the day where we've had our first customer at CoCharge. So CoCharge is an app where hosts, people with chargers who are willing or happy to share their chargers with another, and clients, don't know what they call them actually, people with an EV who need to charge it but don't have one at home, meet and agree a price and share the charger for money. Yeah, I suppose you could put it free if you really wanted to. Now, CoCharger do take a fee. I will put the terms and references up here. It works by you putting your rough location on a map. You put a pin on the map for where your house or charger is, and then you put your agreed fee. Now, I've chosen 30p because sometimes people want to plug in on peak hours, and you kind of don't want to lose any money doing it, do you? So I've put a peak fee of 30p. You've got to do it per hour, or via the app. The interface makes you put a fee per hour. So and then it'll give you a translation into what that is per kilowatt hour. So I put in a fee per hour, which is similar to 30p per kilowatt hour. I think it was actually 29. So that works for me. So if any of the energy is at peak times, I'm basically making no money. But if it's off peak and is at 7p, and usually you can use your Octopus Intelligent scheduling in a smart way to mean that you can basically do that and get the 7p all the time. So I've had my first customer today, who is a fellow parent from my kids' primary school, and they are charging this morning. We plugged in at 8 a.m. and the charge is probably full by 11 or 12 o'clock, and I'm getting at least till 11 on the off-peak hours, and then at 11 o'clock presumably it'll stop. But what I'll do is I'll change the schedule. There's loads of renewable energy. I'll change the schedule. We're in the tunnel now, sorry. I'll change the schedule on the Octopus Electroverse app, and hopefully what will happen is that we'll get a new schedule and it'll immediately charge from 11 till 12, because when there's solar in the mix in the UK grid, actually the lowest carbon and the cheapest electricity is often midday. You get a morning peak, you get an evening peak, and you get lowest in midday and you get lowest at night. So while I can use my charger at night, and I did last night get a full charge, we are renting the charger out in the morning and during the day to our first customer on CoCharge. So I will pop up the app alongside this conversation and show you how it works, and we'll see how it goes. Obviously the price has got to be good for me and work for me in terms of you get a couple of quid, and it's got to be good and convenient for them. So it's a convenient location for them. They want their child into the same primary school as I took the kids, so it's not like too out of the way, and clearly the price is right for them to be interested because they messaged me. So we'll see how this goes, and if he wants to be a regular customer, maybe we'll come off the app and do a private arrangement or something. We'll see, where we don't have a middleman, and I might give him a better price as well. This could be even more interesting if or when I have solar, because then he's getting my solar, and we know that it's completely carbon free. And it could be even more interesting if I have a heat pump, because then my house is staying lovely and warm. We're plugging in an EV that's going to change my electricity to 7p, and then the heat pump is going to be using 7p electricity, not 25 or 28 or 30p electricity. So that is potentially a great avenue for EV charger sharing. The only problem and the biggest downside about my charger situation is just the cable length and awkwardness with where to park, how to park, for other vehicles who don't have their charger right at the front. So the first car is a Nissan Leaf, which has its charger right at the front, just like mine. So it was just exactly the same parking position as me. But say things like Teslas might get quite awkward because oh no, Teslas will be fine. But ones that have their charger on the rear right or the front left might be quite awkward, just in terms of parking arrangements, because next door like to park next to their gate, just like I like to park next to my gate. So we don't want to cause any conflicts. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Why don't you check out the CoCharge app? There's a couple of other brands. I don't know why I've chosen this one. I don't have any special opinions on whether this one's better than another one, etc., etc. I've got public liability insurance on my house, and so I'm not especially worried about that aspect. Let me know if you've got any opinions about that aspect. So if I'm getting electricity at 7p, so I think we're filling possibly a 40 or a 60 kilowatt hour Nissan Leaf up 50%. So we're possibly using 20 or 30 kilowatt hours of energy. So I'm going to be charged by up to a 7p, but I'm selling it on to my kind customer at 30p. And so we've got a 23p profit margin. And so I might have to just quickly do some maths in my head for how much that is and pop it up on text. So it's a couple of quid. It's not going to break the bank. Okay, guys, well, thanks for tuning in. I will see you in the next one. And let me know if you think this is a sensible idea, or if you're inspired to do it yourself. I think it's nice to share. And given that I'm charging 30p, but the local rapid charger is 75p, I'm not aware of any other ones in Whitley Bay apart from the Fastned hub that would be competitive. So and I think I'm the cheapest on CoCharge locally, so I'm fairly happy with that. Okay, guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye. Good evening, everyone. I think we're in Storm Bella or something like that. Not sure, but the first charging via CoCharger has gone very well. It charged all morning. I managed, I think, to get the Octopus Intelligent Go 7p rate throughout the whole charge, and the 40 kilowatt hour Leaf, I believe, fully charged, and used 17 kilowatt hours of battery. The app works by you putting in your car's reg, that telling the app how much battery you have, and then you putting, when you start, a starting percentage and a finishing percentage picture of the dashboard, which has got to be done live, so that you can't put in a previous picture of something not live, so you can't forge anything, and then it working out how much you owe, and then taking a cut, which is about, I don't know if it's 15 or 20%, let's say 15. So it's all been done. So 17 kilowatt hours at 30p is around a £5. So he's paid a £5. They've taken 60p, something like that, and I've got £4.40, and I think it only cost me £1. So it's a small battery, it's been a small charge, but it's been no hassle to me, and I get to feel good about helping someone who's starting out on their EV journey. And everything's gone fine, really. It was no hassle. Because I don't have a drive, what we did was we passed my car charger out under the gate into the car, and when he's finished, he's put the hub cap on and then gently rolled it underneath without damaging it. So the only thing I've got to consider is, I've got to have a trustworthy charger who's going to look after the cable and gently pass it in, and not leave it outside, run it over, or twaz it around and damage it. But seems like a nice guy and a trustworthy guy, so everything is going well. So I'll flash up on the app how much we paid. I'll flash up on my Chargers app how much electricity was used, and then I'll show you the updates of the Octopus app, because there's been several updates to that recently for displaying your previous charges, and it's getting quite good. But yeah, I am driving home, and then I've got to pack, and then we're going to go to my dad's driving through the storm. We're driving to the eye of the storm over in Lytham St Anne's. So yeah, this is going to be interesting with 40, 50 mile an hour winds with, I'm sure, quicker gusts. Not the best time to be travelling. But anyway, what can you do? You can't cancel on everyone all the time just because of a bit of wind or rain, eh? I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in, and have a look up at Co-Charger, see if you want to join, lend your charger out. And if you're thinking about getting an EV, why don't you look up Co-Charger to see if there's anyone near you who sounds reasonable, giving a charger at a reasonable cost, like me. Tune into the next one. I was just thinking about the alternatives for him. He's got a work charger, so he's going to use that most of the time. Other alternatives could be, you know, the Tynemouth Castle Inn. I've just put a short up about that. That's only 35p a kilowatt hour, and the local Aldi are doing it for 39p a kilowatt hour. So, you know, competitive rates at public places, but they just have parking concerns, whereas there's no parking charges possible where I am. So, see you in the next one, guys. Ciao.